Hey there folks, this is Josh, Stoney Ridge Farmer. Welcome back to the farm. It's another beautiful day, a rainy, misty day here on the Stoney Ridge Farm in North Carolina. Today what we're going to be doing is working with our John Deere 5065 tractor and the Woods BB72 Extreme brush cutter. This thing is a rotary cutter that's just a monster. I've used it for a lot of stuff. Today we're just going to be cutting some grass, some pasture, and some weeds. So we'll take you over, we'll talk to you about fall cutting, and it's getting close to fall. We're getting close to that cool weather time, and what we're trying to do is prevent our weeds from seeding out. So come along today. We're gonna unload Skitty Bop. I got Skitty Bop back from James River Equipment. It had a busted hose that had rubbed in half, and a fuel pump that had gone bad, and a seat belt that had gone bad, but nothing major. Probably, I haven't got the bill yet, but you know, when you take it to a place that sells green paint, you're gonna have a little bit of a bill, but that's okay. We got a good piece of equipment here. I was a little bit worried that Skitty Bop was gonna need a whole rebuild, pump rebuild, but it was good to go. Come along, guys. We're gonna have some fun today on the Stoney Ridge, getting some work done. All right? Woo!
I ain't afraid of work. I ain't afraid of play. I ain't afraid to get the job done and do it my own damn way. I ain't afraid of life. Times like this, if you mess with my freedom, I'll tell you just what you can kiss. That's right.
All right, guys, before we get started working with the machines, let's tell you a little bit about them. So this is a 2013 John Deere 5065E. It's got the H240 series loader. It's a quick attach loader system. We'll take you over here and show you that a little bit. So you've got a quick attach loader system right here. You just push a few little knobs and the quick attaches pop right off. You pull two pins and the whole loader system will come off of this tractor. Now, when would you want your loader system off your tractor? Well, if we were baling hay, we're pulling the big hay baler or some big piece of equipment, we would want to get that loader off because it has some weight to it. So we want to work our tractor less and save fuel. So when we're doing stuff like not cutting hay per se, but baling hay, we want to get rid of that loader, and we might as well get rid of it while we're cutting hay. Now, what we have here is a Woods brush bull. It's a BB72 Extreme. This thing will cut some big stuff, really big stuff. And you can see I've had this for around 6 years. The gearbox has a 5-year warranty. I just changed the oil in the gearbox, and I should have taken you guys along with me. We've got a few lubrication points, so we've got to lubricate the shaft right here, and we've got to lubricate the wheel and the pivot on the wheel right there. But it's been a great mower. We do have some maintenance items that need to be taken care of on this mower. You can see this guard, the clutch guard, is off on it, and it's a slip clutch type mower. In other words, if you hit something big, the clutch will slip. It doesn't have a shear pin, which would break a bolt, and you'd have to replace that. So it's got a slip clutch in it. Huge cutting blades on this machine. We're going to be putting new cutting blades on it. We've got a few maintenance items. Like you can see, a little bit of wear right there on the guard on the front of it, which keeps things from kicking back at you. So if you got into some heavy brush, it could kick it back towards the tractor. So we got to replace that. I think we're going to get the chain mesh replacement for that. And let's talk about Skitty Bop. So Skitty Bop is our little John Deere 250 skid steer. It had a hydraulic hose in the very bottom, was rubbing on the very bottom. So I took it to James River Equipment. They replaced that hose, and I told them to do a full service. So they did a full service on it, and when they went to do that, they changed the fuel filter, and they found that the fuel pump had gone bad in this machine. So they replaced the fuel pump. Gonna have a good bill. So we're gonna unload Skitty Bop right here, but first, I'll go up, lubricate this, and start the John Deere 5065 so that when we start mowing, it's at optimal running temperature. So we'll fire that up, and we'll fire up Skitty Bop, unload him, and get busy. All right, before we start lubricating this stuff, I want to show you guys the tools that I use for changing out gearbox oil. So you can't just drop a plug and drain this, you have to suck it out. And this is the tool that you use. This is called a Magnot C16 suction gun. And I've got two of these. This one's labeled bad oil, and I've got one labeled good oil in there too, in case I need to draw good oil out and put it into a gearbox. Now, I'm also using a K32 Magnot gun with a quick attach right here. So this little quick attach saves you some trouble. I don't know if you've ever put a grease fitting, this end on a grease fitting and it pops off on you. So this totally eliminates that. Very, very cool. And this is my favorite one-handed grease gun. So instead of having to go crank, 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 and we do have some like that, you can just squeeze with your hand. That's it. Pretty cool. Let's get busy. So I'm a huge fan of tub of towels, guys. That's what this right here is. If you've never used these, you are missing out big time. I'll post a link down in the video description to all the tools and goodies that we're using. Tub of towels, you know, no matter what, whenever you're greasing a piece of equipment like this, you're gonna get grease all over your hands. Look at my hands, clean. All the grease right on that tub of towels. That stuff works. Guys, post a comment. Tell me if you use tub of towels, or if you think that there's something different that's better. Let me know. I'd like to try it out for sure. Tub of towels, love them, love them. So we're gonna fire up the 5065 and we're gonna unload Skitty Bop. No matter who you think you are or how good you know your equipment, don't start this piece of equipment or any piece of equipment without your butt in the seat, okay? Be safe, guys, be safe. Jump up here, it takes an extra couple seconds. I actually put my butt in the seat that has water in it and start this tractor. There we go. You gotta protect your number one investment, and that's you. And we're gonna hop on Skitty Bop, unload Skitty Bop. When you get a piece of equipment like that serviced, it just seems like it runs so much better. I fired Skitty Bop up, and it was a little bit of a hard start before we put the new fuel pump on, and now it's rock solid. We had a seatbelt issue, so the previous owner would take the seatbelt and it would be behind you. In other words, you wouldn't have anything restraining you into the skid steer, which was a very hazardous thing. In case you tip forward, you just fall out and a skid steer could run over you. So we had to order a new seat belt on this side, the clip part, and we ordered a new seat belt strap to go over top of us, because we definitely didn't want to struggle with that and we didn't want to get hurt. So again, I think it runs better, runs smoother with a nice fresh service and nice fresh fluids. I'll bet you it cost me 500 bucks to get that thing fully serviced, but that's okay. It'll be good for several years. We'll change our oil typically one time a year in that machine, or every couple hundred hours. Let's get these ramps up. Let me talk to you about the trailer too. Let's just talk about the equipment we're using. This trailer, I really like it a lot. It's low. It's kind of like a low boy trailer, but it has fenders on it. So for getting cars and trucks and stuff on here, awesome. Equipment, easy, awesome. I do have a problem with the trailer wanting to rear up. In other words, lift the back of the truck off the ground when I put the John Deere 5065. So the solution I've got is probably not an OSHA approved solution, but I've got some wooden blocks that we put down here. They're like pieces of railroad tie, so I put them underneath so we don't get that tilting issue. In the future, if I ever had to buy another gooseneck trailer, I think I would get a deck over trailer, not a trailer with fenders, because this really limits you on what you can put on here. So I could put hay bales on here all the way back to the fenders, and then it's just too tight to fit 2 hay bales right there in between those fenders. So in the future, when we get our next trailer, it probably will be a wooden deck trailer or a tilt type metal deck trailer, not a trailer with exposed fenders. Just a little food for thought. right. Have I got you scratching your head yet? That's right. We're gonna be mowing in the pasture where the cows are, okay? What we're doing is knocking the tops out of the weeds. This is my hearing protection, by the way. I've used a lot of good hearing protection here on the farm. ISO-tunes I've used, but 3M, these 3M Bluetooth headphones, man, noise canceling headphones, they seem to be the best. They've lasted, they've taken a lick, they've taken rain. The ISO-tunes got rained on, totally ruined. $100 pair of headphones. I think these were 79 bucks or so. They're also in the Stoney Ridge Farmer Amazon affiliate store in case you guys are looking. There'll be links down there in the video description. Let's talk about the brush cutter here. We want the brush cutter to be level. In other words, we want it to be level this way and we want it to be level that way. Maybe a slight tilt forward, okay? What we're gonna be doing is running the brush cutter right down here, the brush bull, right down here next to the ground. This point right here, we want it about that far off the ground. And we're mowing, you can see, we're still leaving 5 inches of ground cover. So we're leaving plenty for the cows. They've got plenty to eat and they're actually gonna get some nice, sweet new growth from me mowing this. So it's gonna stimulate the grass to growing. If you look at this, hopefully I can pull up a drone video of what this looked like this spring. But it didn't look like this. It looked like dirt, just straight dirt. So it looks really, really good. Let's get up here. I'll show you the tops of the weeds we're cutting out. We'll toss the drone up in the air and get you some awesome footage. And we'll show you what Woody, my helper, is doing. Man, there are so many sticks and rocks throughout here. There were several old barns down in here, and those foundations are still scattered about throughout this area. This was a gravel road right up through here. And when my bulldozer guy came, the bulldozer guy that doesn't work for me anymore, but when he came to do the work for me, he, instead of taking all this rock, which you can see, rock right here, we used riprap rock, about that big, okay? Instead of taking all that rock, getting in this old road bed and pushing it all down the hill so I could utilize that rock, he spread it that way and that way, all over the pasture. So I've had to be, it's just been a struggle. I've had to fight these granite stones right here all over the pasture because of something very, very simple that could have happened. The bulldozer guy could have taken his forks and pushed this all down to the bottom of the hill, and I probably could have utilized some of that, or at least had it all in one spot instead of strode out all over the pasture. Little things you learn as you go. Let's get up here and take a look at the pasture. Cows are lounging up here, man. They are full. Let's give you a baby calf, Cody the calf update, along with this mowing. So here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to prevent this weed from seeding out. Okay, I just pulled that one up. You can see some of these already have the little fuzzies on them. If you get down close, that's your seeds, that's your weed seeds. And all this is the stuff that the cows have kind of rejected. We haven't started intensive grazing our property yet because we simply don't have the stock. We have 10 cows now. Let's take you over here and show you the baby. So this is Cody. Cody is our new baby calf, and Cody is a little sweetie. He was born last Friday. Very cute. As with most calves, Mama doesn't like Josh right by her baby, so we won't bother him too much. We also have TJ and Tammy. So TJ is the baby donkey and Tammy is the mama. TJ was going to be Tammy Jr., but TJ turned out to be a boy. Let's get busy mowing. All right, guys, we can't do this without checking on Woody. Woody, come on over here. What you been doing, man?
I got a few sticks. Just a few.
A few sticks. So guys, this is what's left over after we cleared the land right here. Now we cleared that field and this field about, I guess, 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. And this area has only been cleared for 2 years. So if you look, I'll get some footage. I'll intermingle some footage of what this looked like. I think last year, I believe it was last year. This was all dirt, so it all looked like dirt. And what Woody is doing here is taking, no pun intended, taking all the wood and we're putting it on bare spots right here. So Grandpa called this area, spots like this, dead land. You can see it's a spot right here. There's another spot over there, and then there's another spot right in there. There's just no topsoil. So what we're gonna do is burn these sticks and twigs and make biochar, basically. And biochar will put some biologic material down, and next year we'll have some good growing grass. We'll have really good growing grass right there. So that's what's going on. I'm sorry that you have to be the guy that does it, but
Someone's got to do it.
yeah, somebody's got to do it. That's a good attitude for a farmhand, man. Awesome. So that's Woody. Come on back. One of the awesome features of our John Deere Gator 825i is the dump bed. Check it out. Now, you didn't have any rocks in there, did you? He's got his headphones in. Certain generation can't go without headphones for longer than 10 minutes. They have to be constantly stimulated. Therefore, audiologists will do really well in about 20 years because everybody will be deaf from wearing these stinking headphones. Guys, that's just what's going on today here on the Stoney Ridge Farm. Just knocking out some mowing, getting some stuff done here, having a good time, enjoying the farm life. So we got to keep the woods mower spinning. I probably have about 6 more hours worth of mowing, maybe 5 more hours worth of mowing. I can mow, this is a 6-foot mowing deck. I can typically mow around an acre per hour and do a good job. In other words, I could go faster, but I would leave sticks and weeds and stuff still standing. So we want to make it look as nice as we possibly can. So I just get on here and cruise. Thanks a lot for watching the channel today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the drone footage. I hope to see you again. Please pound the like button, jump in, subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you back here on the Stoney Ridge Farm with me. See you next time. Woo!